vibration on a whole nother level coming from my mind.
I'm gonna be completely honest here. I did not want to make a review of this movie. Throughout this series so far, I've been mostly optimistic, even about the ones I didn't like all that much. But this film, I think it may have broke me a little bit. Like, I don't know how to express my feelings into words with this one. But I tried with this script, so if anything feels rushed, I'm sorry. So, Thor: The Dark World. Widely regarded as one of the weaker films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's been called boring, mediocre, only somewhat relevant because of Endgame and the fact that it sets up Guardians of the Galaxy and it has the Reality Stone in it. You know what? I agree. This is, as of now, the worst film in the Infinity Saga, in my opinion, of course. Now, if you enjoyed this movie, cool. I'm glad you found entertainment value in this movie. But I would also like to inform you that you're wrong. The biggest thing I don't like about this film is, you guessed it, it was boring. The film has nothing going on for it, and even the action is dull. None of the action scenes stick out in any way, and they're all just basic fights with shaky cam and fast editing to make it feel more intense. Now, occasionally there will be a moment where I think, okay, that was cool, but those are few and far between. We got Thor vs. Curse, for example. This is basically the majority of the fights here. The cinematography on any place that isn't Asgard is either dull or bland, but when we do have scenes on Asgard, I will admit it's the best part of the movie. This is probably my favorite time we see Asgard in any of the MCU films. It's bright, gorgeous, and has a pretty banger shot of Thor at one point. But besides that, wherever our human cast goes is meh. And the scenes with the Dark Elves are shot so dark and dreary that it could almost put someone to sleep. Alright, talking characters now. Thor, Loki, Odin, and Jane Foster were all fine. Nothing to report on them, aside from Odin being a jerk, but Odin's been kind of a jerk in the MCU. But the main villain is one of the lamest excuses for a villain I have ever seen. Malekith is another villain who just wants an item so he can destroy everything, etc., etc. Like, we haven't seen that a million times. Now, granted, villains like this can work well, but Malekith isn't handled very well. He's bland, generic, and any other words that mean uninteresting or boring. He just feels like an excuse to show off how powerful the Reality Stone is for future films. In fact, that's basically what this film is. It's filler that happens to have important material for future movies. So instead of telling people to watch it, I'm just gonna tell you to watch only these scenes. The post-credit scene with the Collector, any scene explaining the Aether or Reality Stone, Frigga's death scene, and lastly the scene where Loki turns into Captain America because it's kinda funny. Alright, I'm done with this one. I'm sorry if this one kind of disappointed you, but I just don't want to talk about this one anymore. Alright, I'm done. 2 out of 10. At least I know I'm gonna like the next movie.
Okay, hold up, wait a minute, all good, just a week ago. Crew at my house, and we party every weekend, so on the radio, that's my favorite song. Make me bounce